Hey guys, how's it going? Today is Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. The new tractor arrived yesterday. Here she is. Case IH 125 Maxxum. The L755 self-leveling loader on the front. We'll get her fired up, pulled out of the shed. And I want to go around it and talk about it a little bit. This new girl is pretty sweet. Got a buddy seat, nice big cab. She does purrs too. You can hardly hear the engine running in the cab. This is a 2016 model. It's got the DEF on it. That's probably the only downside to it. But eventually, I think that all machinery is gonna eventually have it. So we have to start sometime using newer stuff. It's got a nice big bucket on the front. I believe it's 95 inch. Yep. Got the quick attach on the nice L755 self-leveling loader. If you're gonna get a loader, you might as well go all the way and get a self-leveling. It's just so much nicer. This tractor is powered by a 4.5 liter FPT 4-cylinder engine. Now FPT, that stands for Fiat Powertrain. CNH is owned by Fiat, I believe, so it's basically a case motor, but it's not a Cummins. That's the one thing about these newer case tractors. They don't have the 5.9 Cummins in like the older Maxxums do. 5.9's a really good motor. It's got the doors on both sides, so you can enter from each side. It's got the controls here on the back for the 3-point, and then your PTO here. It's got rear wheel weights on it. There's 3 here, so I don't think there's fluid in the tires. On our tractors, we run fluid in the back tires. Well, on the 5140 we did. On the 2294 we run in the front tires because you get more traction. You have the weight on the front on a 4-wheel drive tractor. But the 2090 and the 2290, they actually have fluid in the rear tires as well. It's just to help for weight, better pulling. But on this tractor, it's got the weights on for the loader. It's got 3-point hitch, 540, 1000, power takeoff. It's got 4 remotes here. And it's got this thing here. I don't know if that's like a case drain for something or what that is, but yeah, lots to learn about this thing. One thing that's nice about the 3-point arms, it's got these adjusters here. It's got this linkage that keeps the 3 points from swinging back and forth. On an old tractor, they used to sway and then they hit the tires, and we'd end up having to put a bungee strap here or something, and it would always break because there's just so much swaying going on. Hop in the cab here, I'll show you a little bit. So like I mentioned, it's got a buddy seat. It's got the 16-speed transmission with the high and low. So this here will be your throttle, and then you shift with these 2 buttons. Left-hand reverser, neutral, forward, reverse. It's got a foot throttle. Power takeoff. These here are your remotes. One thing I noticed about this thing that I really like, so I was checking her out earlier, and I noticed you can take these out of either side, and then you can run your power cords right through there and still shut the window. With our old tractor, you couldn't do that, and you get a bunch of dust in here, and it was just not nice. It's got a hook up here, you can run the round baler on it. We have to get something figured out for our monitors. I'm not sure how we're gonna mount them. It's got the joystick for the loader. Not sure what these 2 buttons are for. 4-wheel drive differential there, a couple other buttons and gadgets and stuff, but the really nice thing is this buddy seat. Climate controls back here, lights right here, windshield washer, windshield wiper. The machine doesn't have any weights on the front because you can't put weights on here for loader. You wouldn't want the weight on there anyhow, especially on the front like that, but it's good. It's got a weight bracket there, so in the future, if we wanted to put weights on it, we could. The Maxxum series are a little bit larger than the Farmall series. So this here's a 125. It's 125 engine horse. Our 5140, the old tractor. This tractor here is replacing it. It had burnt. If you haven't watched a previous video on it, that tractor used to do all the planting, a bunch of hay work, some mow hay with it, and a bunch of other jobs. So this tractor's just gotta be taking over the workload from it. So we'll mow hay with it. Next spring we'll be planting corn. I think we're gonna really like the tractor. The Maxxums are a little bit larger frame size than the Farmalls. So you can get a Farmall with the same horsepower, but not a large frame. We like a larger frame for around the hills, like out here that we farm. You wouldn't want a small frame tractor on there, especially if narrow wheelbase. These are slid out a little bit. You can't run 30-inch rows with it. It's got 18-inch tires here on the back. Yeah, it's got LEDs on it, big large mirrors. Really know of anything else to go over. It's got a toolbox here on the front. I forgot to say anything about that. And it's also got the plugs here for a block heater and the transmission heater, which is pretty nice because our old tractors, they have a cord. Now you can just stick an extension cord right in the plug, be good to go. This is not a CVX Maxxum. I'm not sure about the CVX, what that stands for. I think they might have a CVT transmission in them. They have something different about them. One thing nice about the loader here is this setup where you just flip the latch and the whole thing lifts up out of there. And then the pins, you turn them somehow, they pull out. So I think detaching and attaching the loader to this machine, it's gonna be pretty nice. Actually, I want to move some bales with the tractor today, so I'm gonna take the bucket off. It's pretty handy. We're gonna take the bucket off, put our bale spear on it. Same quick attack setup as our old tractor, so we can just use the same implements that we always used on it. So I was gonna use this tractor with the bale spear to haul them bales off, but I can't because this one ear down here where the pin gets through to lock it on is tweaked a little bit. Now I worked on the other tractor, the other loader, because, well, it was made a little bit different. It doesn't have these pieces here to keep your implement from sliding like the other one. Just come up straight here, and then it had that room to slide back and forth. But if I did have that, I still don't think I'd get it latched because it's bent over that way pretty good, and I need it to go like straight back because it has to go right here to automatically latch. I'm currently going out to get the bale wagon. Since that bale sphere doesn't work on the front, I'm just gonna use this tractor to haul the hay off. I already took the skid loader over there to where the bales are at. That's where I'm gonna haul them. Go home back over the hill there, and then we're gonna make a stack of them. We've been getting some rain lately, so I'm gonna just set them back there. Whenever they dry out and we get some good hot weather, we'll stack them up. We don't want to stack them on a power right now because they'll heat, they'll mold, to spoil. Don't want that, so we'll let them dry out, and then we can stack them up here eventually. Kind of bums me out. I wanted to use a loader on this tractor because it would be a lot easier and faster. I wouldn't have to, you know, keep driving the skid loader and the tractor back and forth. But what do you do? You got to fix that spear up to fit this, but that's not going to be today. I want to get those bales off over there. Corn's looking decent. I'm getting enough rain to keep it happy. So it just finally started growing pretty decent. We keep the bale wagon out here at the bale pile. That's where I'm headed to get it. Got her hooked up here. Man, this thing is sweet. It's got so much more visibility than what I'm used to. We're making her up here. We gotta park the wagon up there in the middle. Now we gotta load the bales up. We aren't going far with them, but for me to run the skid loader back and forth, it would just save a little bit of time if I used the bale wagon and load what's here up and then haul them back and unload them. Still gonna take a little bit of time for me being by myself, but we'll get it done. My dad and Pat had to go away here this morning, and my pap helped me with the feeding and stuff, and Dad and I did the milking. Dad and I have been doing all the milking lately. Don't really have very much help, but it's alright because I'm home for the summer and I'm here to help. So, but yeah, it can get tiring after a while, getting up early in the morning all the time, but hey, cows gotta be milked, somebody gotta do it. So yeah, it's just me taking care of things. We don't have really anything going on. I just wanted to get this hay off because the grass is starting to grow back. So just feeding, and then my dad will be back this afternoon for milking. So pretty much the only thing I gotta do is this stuff I want to do, and then gonna feed the cows here this afternoon. But that's about it. We hopped out of the Cadillac. Now we're hopping back into the old skidder here. I got 17 bales loaded up on the wagon, and I just went ahead with the skid loader and got the closer bales back over the hill. There's 18 of them, so a total of 35 bale. And this middle piece, we still have to make that far piece yet. And then there's some bales over there in that pasture field where we graze dry cows. They're over in the far piece. There's four pastures over here. We only graze 2 of them, and then we farm the other 2. Get 2 cuttings of hay off of each of these 2 here. Still a chance of rain here this week yet. I think after that we'll probably mow that down, and then our second cutting alfalfa is ready. It's getting pretty late. It's out in blossom, but you can't mow it and really have it rain on. It's not good for it. We're looking to get quality feed in. We're also kind of holding back on making hay because the 2294 give a fit and quit driving. And we took it down to Marvin's place. He's the guy that I mentioned before, Marvin and Susan. They work on our tractors. The 2294 got taken down, what was it, Saturday, I guess it was, and he tore it apart and the rear end's out of it. Something happened in the rear end and it caused a pin to come out, and it messed a whole bunch of things up back in there. The 3-point arms, something with the 3-point hitch here in the back, busted a shaft up on the PTO, I think, and some other stuff. So that's not good news. We were thinking it was just the torque limiter clutch. They're pretty easy to fix. Still have to split the tractor to do that, but yeah, I think you have to pull the axles out and all that kind of stuff to work on the rear end. So we're gonna get fixed, but yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that happened. So we lost a tractor to a fire this year, and now that tractor there's broke down. So we're down to the 870, the 2090, and the 2290. So we really only had 1 tractor to make our hay, and now we got the 125 here, so we can get some hay made now. But we have another tractor. It's just too much for 1 tractor to do all that stuff, and it take a lot of time. But we could use the other 2. But the 2090, we have to have a tractor on the mixer. The cows need fed, and it's just a pain to be hooking and unhooking all the time. You know, for one day, it's not bad, but we're gonna use it a lot. It's kind of a pain, but makes things nice now that we got that tractor. These Maxxum tractors here are known to be reliable. At least the older ones were, like our 5140, 5100 series, and the 5200 series. They're really good tractors. We always liked that 5140, but unfortunately we lost it. Used tractors are very hard to find. You can find a used tractor if you want a piece of junk, but good used tractors are really hard to find. So we're pretty lucky. Came across this one. It was a local Case dealership that had it. As I was saying, these Maxxums are very reliable tractor. I think the new ones are too, but we'll find out. I hope it is. It's a really nice tractor. I hope it holds up very well for us. Yeah, man, this cab. I could stretch out and take a nap in this thing. Compared to our other tractors, it's like 3 times the size. You got leg room. It's got a whole bunch of room on each side of you. We're moving. Just pulling it pretty good. 17 bales. Quite a bit of weight there, so definitely gotta have some power to pull it. That's what we want. You gotta have something that can run the disc spine and do a bunch of other jobs. Man, this thing, when you shift it, it shifts so smooth. I'm used to driving 2290, and whenever you go to hit the power shift, your head flies back into the window. You know, I used to sit back there behind the seat as a kid. Every time you shift, boom, right against the window I go. But this thing, it just goes. I'm just gonna put them here along this tree line, and then we're gonna stack them up here with these other bales from last year. This thing of tarp blew off of it. I think the bales are still good, maybe a couple there on the top, but we're gonna get a tarp, cover them all up, and then we'll probably have to feed them here this winter. We got another pile up at the heifer farm. This is all dry hay. We feed a lot of dry hay in the winter time when all the heifers are at home. One thing nice about this thing is you don't really have to clutch it. So coming here to stop, you just pull her back into neutral, put your brakes on, hold the park brake, and you can shut her down. Our other tractors, they just have 4 gears, and then the 5140 had 4 power shifts. So it's considered a 16 speed, same as this, but it's set up a little bit different. The other tractors, they got 4 gears, but there's 3 gears on the power shift of them. All the bales unloaded. About to skid load over to the other piece where there's bales at. There's just a couple here and there, not very many, because the cows had ate most of the grass. There's just some weeds and stuff that they didn't eat. We baled that up, and the heifers will eat that. That'll make decent feed for them. Yeah, as you can see, we're back to living in the smoke again. I guess there's more wildfires up in Canada, so now all the smoke's coming down from up there into our atmosphere and making it difficult for us to breathe. The last time we had got a bunch of smoke, Like the last couple days of it before it left were pretty harsh. You could really smell the smoke in the air, like even in the house. The news and the weather people were just encouraging people to stay indoors. Well, they must not think that the air from the outside gets inside, because you can still smell the smoke and you're still breathing in the smoke inside. So it's just as bad to be indoors during this than it is to be outside. And look at the sun shining on that hood. Gotta get some wax on it. This tractor had come off of a dairy farm, and the salesman thinks that they used it to mix feed. He wasn't sure, but he thought it was on a feed mixer. So my assumption is they didn't really use the loader, probably sat outside because it's more faded than the tractor, and the bucket on it was really good. The loader's in really good shape, and all the paint was on the bucket, so little to no use on that. Yeah, we just couldn't live without a loader tractor. We're always using the 5140 during fall to pack our silage trench, and moving bales in the wintertime, corn fodder bales. So that made it even harder for us to find a tractor. You gotta kind of get a little picky there, finding a good loader tractor. When my uncle first got that 5140, he originally didn't want the loader with it. He didn't think we were gonna use it, but he was really glad that he did get the loader. We really miss having that loader tractor, so we just had to have one with a loader. Got all those bales moved off. Now I'm working at Maxxum feed. I got the alfalfa in there ground up in the mixer, and got high moisture corn in there. So I'll take the tractor up on the hill, grab a couple scoops of silage. It'll be faster to use the tractor than it is a skid loader. The loader is not gonna stay on here all summer. We're gonna take it off. I don't know if we're gonna use the tractor, the bale, or what we're gonna use it for, but we're gonna definitely mow hay with it, and it'll be the planter tractor. Just listen to her, she purrs. Get a heap of a scoop on this thing for sure. Try not to. This here is what really makes the tractor nice. The left-hand reverser there. This thing's got a sunroof, so whenever you got the loader way up in the air, you can see what you're doing. Yeah, I think we might have to get another one of these. Pretty sweet. I wouldn't say I like it for Maxxum feed, but that's what the skid loader's for. We're not going to be using this thing to mix feed all the time. I'm just using it to get some use out of the tractor until we can get it out in the field working. But it is nice for bringing feed down. 2 scoops is all I need for a mix. It's how big the bucket is on it. Yeah, getting the bag perfect is not very nice with a loader tractor, so I always like feeding with a skid loader. That will do it. Man, I'm feeling like Sunny Farms or Larson Farms or Millennial Farmer right now. Living a luxurious life. The bad part is, this tractor is 7 years old. It's hard to think that. You would think, but 2016, we're in 2023. It's crazy how fast time goes.